So comfortable on the mat, allowing yourself to just relax. And if you're ready to start yoga breathing, oh, I lost my screen, there it is. Okay. We're going to inhale, exhale through our nose. We want to try to be breathing slower than we would normally. Taking the breath in through the nose, and we want to start allowing it to come deeper into the body, being more aware of how our breath is affecting us, right? So it's really helpful, especially when we're moving. So inhaling, exhaling evenly for one thing kind of keeps the body in a calmer state, but also when we start moving, and if we're getting into a pose that we're trying to hold, or maybe it's just challenging, focusing on the breath somehow allows the body to just be a little bit more present in what we're doing. You're more aware of what you should and shouldn't be doing. And then when we're working on things that require a little bit more, we'll say like relaxation in order to stretch or balance or something like that, again, those exhales are what's going to really help us with that. So have the strap nearby. I think we're going to do a little bit of hip work with that at the beginning. Have water nearby because we want to stay hydrated when it's warmer like this. So once you have gotten comfortable here, you feel like you got that breath under control. Slow inhale, slow exhale through the nose. You do want to feel this all the way to the belly. So if you're uncertain about that, you can just place your hand here for a moment. You do want to feel the belly rise up. And then the belly goes back down as we exhale, but that's when we're letting go of any tension and tightness. Now, we also need to feel everything in between. So we don't want to just feel that belly, like don't push it out and pull it in. You want to feel this through the rib cage as well, or rather the lungs, which are inside the rib cage, and they are expanding in all directions. As the breath comes in, on that exhale, again, just relaxing. When you feel ready, you're going to bring the feet onto the mat, bending the knees, lifting the hips up. We just want to get everything aligned to give us the most strength and efficiency when we're moving. So we're going to move our shoulders apart. Feel like you kind of lengthen the neck as long as it can be. Shoulders on the floor if you can. If you're a little bit rounded and you have a hard time with that, you can kind of press the shoulders down and then relax and see where they go. You know, we have to train our body to get into the positions that we want it to be in, because a lot of time, without knowing it, we've trained it to be in positions that are maybe not the most beneficial for our posture. So still breathing in, exhaling. Each heel is going to line up with the center of the glutes, you know, those little bones that are up there. And you want the heels as close in as you can, but then if you feel a little discomfort in the knees, you can inch the feet out a little bit. So we just want to get into that position where we've got the heels pretty close in, but you know, they may not be up here touching the hips, or like if you put your hand down, sometimes you can touch your heel. If you're not quite there, that's okay too. Still breathing. Again, I want you to check in with that breath as often as you can remember, okay? Just do one or two here with just the breath and not moving yet. All right, now on the next inhale, you're just going to float your arms up overhead as far as you can go on that one breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring them back down. You also might find out that you've got your blocks in the way, like I did, and move them out of the way. Because we want to have nothing in the way, right? No obstacles here. Reach up and overhead. Feel the fingertips stretching away from the body. On the inhale, on the exhale, bringing those arms all the way back down. We're not resting in between. We're going right back into that overhead stretch on the next inhale. And right back to the exhale as the arms come down. A couple more. Again, we don't want to even be thinking about this movement, right? We do it so often. Inhale, reach up. Now this exhale, I'm just going to pull my right knee to the chest just for that exhale. Inhale, go back down. Arms are still going overhead, right? Exhale, left knee in. And inhale, hit the arms back. Foot goes down. So we're just alternating now, knee to chest every time. Preparing the body. I mean, I do feel like most parts of my body feel tight, but definitely hips are what I always need to work on. I mean, my shoulders, yes, neck's been tight lately, haven't been sleeping on the best pillows, but sitting down, and I'm guilty of it too, you know, when you're home a lot, sitting down is almost like, I think this is a bit of an exaggeration, but I've heard some, you know, nutritional people and fitness people say sitting down is the new smoking, that it's as bad for you as smoking. Now, I don't know if I believe that, but I think it's bad in a way that anytime you're not moving the body, right, your body's just getting used to being in that position. And if it's sitting down, you know what that does to our hip flexors, right? Do right and left one more time. All right, so when you get to your right leg, let's stay there. So get there at your own pace, but bring the hands just under that kneecap. You can slide down a little lower if you like. Now this is also a good grip. You can go behind the leg, but we just don't want to pull on the kneecap, especially for a prolonged period. We're going to be here longer right now. So I'm just going to pull that leg in. I want to think in my head that I'm bringing my thigh, the front of my leg, into my chest. Now, I know I'm never going to actually get it there, but give yourself those ideas to think about while you're doing it, and just see if it helps you a little bit. We're just trying to get the leg to relax, right? So we're feeling it back here a little bit. Now we're shortening this hip flexor as much as we possibly could, right? By pulling that knee in. Now you can back off a little bit. We're just going to take the leg up or the foot up and work the foot and ankle. So point, flex. We're feeling that foot move all different ways. Again, maybe you want to work on the toes a little bit, spreading them out, bringing them together, but also keeping that flexing, pointing going. Circling the ankle. All right, I'm going to go both ways. All right. And then just bend the knee, move the hip a little bit. I like to start by going kind of out and in. You can go right into circling if you want, but I'm going to let my knee drop open and bring it in a few times, easily stretching that inner thigh, and then I'm going to start to move the leg more in a circular movement, right? So as I move the knee around, it just helps that upper part of the leg to move around the hip. And I'm not being too careful right now. I'm not trying to keep my hips completely flat on the mat. I am letting my hips move a little bit because that gives me more range of motion with this kind of a movement. When we're doing our yoga, more yoga type stuff, yes, we do want to be more aware of keeping the hips in place. Again, maybe going in and out. Now, if that hip feels a little bit looser, let's take the right foot across that left knee. Use that right hand and just press it out a little bit. Try to keep everything else relaxed. Notice if you are feeling something up in that right hip. Now you can take it one step further by taking that left foot up off the mat. Now you saw I had to bring my body up to get it, but I don't want to stay here. I need to be able to go completely back down. If you can't do that and you still want to try it, take your strap. You can use a little towel. You don't have to have a yoga strap. Bring it under the leg. Same thing. I'm just going to pull that foot up. You can see I've got my strap here and hold it in. So that's another option for you. All right, 2 more breaths here. Now uncross the leg, pull the knees in, roll the back a little bit. We need to start all over again, so we're just going to bring the feet back down the mat. Get that aligned bent knees pose, arms right next to you. Focus on your breathing again. All right, next inhale, arms go up. Exhale, bring the left knee in. Same thing, take the hands off the kneecap, pull that knee or pull that left leg in towards you. All right, left foot coming up. Same thing, we're going to start with the foot and ankle. Okay, maybe moving the toes a little bit. And then moving into circles. All right. After you've worked the foot and ankle, we're ready to move on to the hip. Same thing, we want to start to work easy into that left hip. And then circling and moving the knee around. All right. And then we'll take that left foot to the right knee. Same thing, I'm going to start to press that left knee open. See if I can go a little further with help here. My outside, my external hand. Stay there, see where you feel it. And then that next level would be taking the foot off the floor. Okay, you never have to do that though. You can always stay here. Whichever one works better. All right, let's uncross, bring both knees in again. A little bit of rolling here. All right. Now we're going to start all over again. I want you to come into that bent knees pose. All right, we've done just a little bit of warm up, not a whole lot. Go ahead and grab your strap. We are going to start with the right leg. Depending on where you are, how you can see me, I really don't care if you start left or right. You just want to make sure that whatever we do on one side, we try to do it evenly on the other, right? Take that band or that strap or whatever you're using under the ball of the foot. Now, if you're real flexible, you might be able to grab the foot or ankle, and that's fine too. But I like having this external help, which is my strap. I've got it made into a little loop here. Can you see how that loop is? My camera's so blurry, I can't tell. So, ow. Smacked myself right in the ankle. Okay, so when I take the strap under the ball of the foot and I extend that leg up, I want to be careful that, most important things here, right? I don't let my foot angle, so I never have the pinky side or the big toe side going higher than the other side. And also, I want to make sure that this right hip doesn't start moving higher up on the mat or coming off the mat. I want to keep my hips exactly even with each other. All right, so on the inhale, press that heel out. On the exhale, be gentle, but use that strap. Pull it towards you. And again, inhale, I'm imagining that leg getting longer. Maybe it feels like it is getting longer. Exhale, pulling the leg in. We're just going to continue that, and you're going to get to what's going to feel like a maximum point. Go as far as you can. You can, again, as long as the hip stays down. This knee does not have to be locked. In fact, it's better if it's relaxed rather than locked. But you can bend it a lot more if that enhances your stretch. So go wherever you can. You feel that lower back and the back of the pelvis completely on the mat. Don't pull so hard that your hands or arms get tired. We're not trying to work out that upper body, just helping. All right, now keep that right leg in extension and take the left leg out. You might notice, like for me, it takes me a minute to get the leg to fully stretch out because that hip flexor has been bent for a while. It takes a moment for it to lengthen back out. Now I've got both legs long. Feel a really nice stretch in front of my left leg, right at the front of the hip, keeping that right leg extended up. Now don't let the left leg relax too much that you forget about it and it kind of drops open. We want to try to keep it so that the toes are pointing, they're not pointing, but they are facing up, the foot semi-flexed, all right? Left hand going to go onto that left hip. Inhaling here, exhale, let that right leg open a little bit. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, let it open a little bit more. Inhale, bring it back up. You can go as far as you want to, as long as you don't let the left hip come up. Both hips evenly on the mat. It might take you 3, 4, 5 times to get to a point you want to stay, if you want to stay there at all. So I'm going to just take the leg out. Now I'm going to stay here. Now I'm really pressing a little more firmly on that left hip. You know that little pointy bone in the front? That's kind of where you want to place your hand over. Because as I let the leg go, my left hip really wants to come up here. So I'm going to work both ways, letting the leg drop open, but pressing that hip down. You might find that having the leg angle a little bit lower gives you a better stretch, or going a little bit higher. This is entirely subjective, right, to each person. Next inhale, you're going to bring it back up, and as quickly as you can, change hands. Open that right arm. Stay here, exhale. Inhale again. Now exhale. Let that right leg go across. I have to let my right hip come up. I'm a little bit hindered by my wall right here. You can go further. You might go completely over to where that leg goes to the floor. For me, this is a good option because I can have my leg kind of resting against the wall. So I've got some control over how far I'm going. Now we're feeling this outside that right hip. Really work to keep your right arm and shoulder down. This is another one where you can adjust the angle of the leg and maybe find something that gives you a better stretch. All right, inhale, come back up. Both hands on the strap, going back to your hamstring stretch. Now, if you can stay right here, or maybe you want to bring your upper body up. I'm going to try to bring my nose toward my knee. Let the upper body lower down. Take that strap off. Pull both knees in and roll the back. Keep your strap. We're about to do the left. So we do want to start over with bent knees, just to make sure everything's lined up. All right? When you can feel that your hips are even, take that strap under the left foot, extend the leg up. Again, all those little things we're checking, make sure the hip stays down, stays even with the right hip. And then we also want to take that strap under the ball of the foot and try to keep our foot parallel to the ceiling. Take a breath in, extend the heel away from you, exhale, a little pull. And again, you can hold anywhere on here. So take some time now getting into that hamstring stretch. All the back of the leg, right? From right behind the knee, feel it going up into the glutes. Hopefully every breath is helping you go a little further or just getting you a little bit more comfortable there, right? All right. Take your time, get into your maximum. When you feel ready, you're going to let that right leg stretch all the way out. All right. That's feeling pretty good. You're ready to move on to that inner thigh stretch. Right hand, place it on top of that right hip. I actually kind of put the palm of my hand onto that little bone at the front. I find that that makes it the most comfortable, and I can feel that I've got some good pressure here in the hand to help keep that hip in place. Inhale first, exhale, take it out just a little bit. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, take it out. Inhale, bring it back up. Again, take a few of these, feel it out, see how it goes. When you decide you want to stay out there, stay out there. But once again, we're always going to press that hip down. Now, once again, I'm going to use my wall here to support my leg. Now, does that mean I'm not stretching it? No, I'm still getting a great stretch here, but I've taken a little bit of the force out of that hand and arm and letting my leg just kind of press into the wall. Feel that nice inner thigh stretch. Might be feeling it higher in the groin or more on the outside, inside. Again, we just have to listen to our bodies and try to help them rather than forcing our bodies into positions that they're not really ready for, or maybe we are never going to get to, and that's okay too. All right, so one more full breath here. Now this next inhale, we're going to bring the leg back up, quickly changing hand. On the exhale, we're letting that left leg go across as we also let that left arm go down to the floor. Go at whatever angle, whatever level you feel is the best. Left hip has to come off the mat though. Only the left hip, not the shoulder. All right, inhale, come back up. Both hands on the strap. You can stay right there. If you'd like to, bring that upper body off the mat. Bring your head in toward that knee. And then as you come down, we will take the straps off. You can move it off to the side a little bit. We might use it, or you might want to use it later. But for now, let's take the legs long, stretch them out. Take the arms overhead. Inhale, stretch fingers to toes. Exhale, let it all relax. Let the arms just come onto the floor. Let the legs kind of drop open. Let's do that again. Inhale, stretch and hold. And exhale, relax. From here, you're going to make your way onto hands and knees. Now you can roll over and use your hands. Push yourself up. You can use a little momentum and rock on up. We want to have maybe something under the knees if your knees are tender, right? Get your knees and hips lined up, and then the hands and the shoulders, right? So we're like a 4-leg table. This is the strongest support that we can get. If you have your hands out here, or even further out, it just doesn't give you the stability for the joints that are above that, right? So we're going to start out a nice deep breath in. Feel that belly move out. Exhale, arch into cat pose. Now pull the belly tight as you drop that head down and arch your back up. Inhale, lengthen and lift into cow pose. Tailbone and chest lifting. Exhale, arch it back up. Inhale, lengthen and lift. And we just go through those two. One more time, arching up. Inhale, cow. Exhale, stay on all fours, just straightening the back. Opposite arm and leg, lift one up. Inhale. Exhale, bring them back down. So it doesn't matter which side you start on. Make sure you're doing opposite. One leg, then the opposite arm. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. So as I'm lifting up, I'm really working on extending the fingertips and the heel behind me. Trying to keep going, alternating, trying to keep the torso from moving a whole lot. So if you're feeling like your weight kind of shifting from one side to the other, pull in tight here. The tighter we can pull the abdominals in, the more support that's going to give us. So keep going, alternating. It's just one breath per movement. Lifting up as we inhale, lowering down as we exhale. Lifting up as we inhale, lowering down as we exhale. So I want you to alternate 2 more on each arm and leg. It's a total of 4. And then after that, you're going to take another breath in and then exhale into child's pose. Whatever variation that is for you. Maybe you need something under the hips. Maybe you want the knees a little further apart. Bring the arms in again, whatever's going to work, right? Now, stay there a little bit longer. I want you to keep your hips back and take your arms forward and really start out by getting them as far away as possible. Press your hands down into the mat like you're trying to glue them down and pull the hips back and feel that nice stretch under the armpits alongside the body. Now take both hands to the right edge. So take the right hand to the right edge of the mat. You might have to lift your hips up a little bit to get that left hand beyond it, and then try to sit back as far as you can. Now the hands might come back a bit, but our goal here is to get as much stretch through the left side as we can when we're on the right edge. And then back to the middle and right to the other side. So right hand's going to go beyond the left hand. Sit the hips back as much as you can and have the arm as extended forward as much as you can. All right, and then back to the middle, both arms extended forward. Bring the hands in just a little bit, toes under, come up into downward facing dog. Start by lifting the hips up. Want to feel like somebody's pulling that tailbone up and away from you at a diagonal. They're also pulling your hips back so you're stretching the sides of the body as long as possible. The head is hanging down. You don't want to feel any tension in that neck. So let your head hang. You should be looking right between your ankles. You're not looking at your mat at all. Well, I mean the mat behind you, right? Now pedal one foot by letting the other knee bend quite a bit. And then other side. Once the other knee bends a lot, you come up into the ball of that foot as that other heel presses down. And shift each one again, and I want you to stay there a breath or two. Don't be pedaling too fast. We do that sometimes, nothing wrong with it, but right now we're really focusing on lengthening the back of the leg. And then both heels working toward the mat. All right, next inhale brings us into our plank. You can move the hands a little more forward if you need to. We can drop our knees if we like, modify that plank. Now, as you take that breath in, whether we're here or here. You want to think of lifting the heart just a tiny bit. Exhale, lower. Keep the elbows close to you, forehead down. Inhale, cobra. Pull the belly tight. Exhale, child's pose. Come all the way back. We're not going to be doing that too much flowing today, but we are going to do a little strength work with our planks today, so be ready for that. 3 breaths here. All right, downward dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale to plank or modified plank again. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. So that third time, when we get into our plank, we're going to add some variations in there. Now we're not going to go through that vinyasa flow a whole lot again. Just so we're going to kind of come in and out of our plank just a little bit differently today. All right, come to your downward dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale to plank. Tighten the belly. Take that right foot off the floor. 3-legged plank. Bring it back down. Left foot up. Bring it back down. Come back to downward dog. Now at some point, if your wrists or hands are tired, you're going to go back into your child's pose and rest, or even if my hands are slipping because they're sweaty. If you need to dry them off, that's fine too. So starting again in our downward dog. Inhale to plank. Squeeze it tight. Take the left foot up off the mat. Bring it back down. Take the right foot up. Bring it back down. Downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Drop the knees. Turn to the side of your mat. Modified plank on the right. Elbow under the shoulder. This arm is extended out. You can have the pinky edge down or the palm flat. Right leg bent. Stretch your left leg long. You want the inside of your left foot in touch with the mat. Don't point the foot, don't turn it. Right here. Stay nice and tight here. Left hand on the left hip. I want you to just lift your right hip off the mat. Here's our modified plank. I can take the arm up. I can take the leg up. And come down on the hip. Stretch that left arm up and over. And come back down. So that was our option 1, modified side plank. Our next one is going to be another modified side plank, but we're going to do it with the hand under the shoulder and the elbow. All right? So we're going to still keep, only go with one leg. So we're going to still keep our right leg bent, left leg extended, but I'm just going to lift a little higher as I come up. Notice that my shoulder and hand line up. If my hand's too far in any direction, I'm going to have a real hard time staying strong here. Once again, I can lift that leg up. And come back down once again. Let's bend both legs together. Come down onto that elbow and stretch up and over. All right, we're going to change it up a little bit. I want you to come all the way up, stretch your legs out in front of you. So you're still facing sideways on your mat. That's okay. Arms up, inhale. Forward bend, exhale. Reach forward. Go as far as you can. Now inhale, lengthen your spine a little more. Exhale, move forward a little more. Ease into it. Come on out of that. We're going to set up the left side by just simply going to the other side of our mat. Start out, left elbow under the left shoulder. Left leg bent, right leg stretched out. Remember, you might be opposite me. You might be doing the other side. But everything else is pretty much the same. The inside edge of our foot is what's on the mat. I've got my good support here. I'm on my left hip, hand on the hip. Now pull in tight. We're going to lift that left hip up. Here. Again, option, bring the leg up. Whichever one works for you. And we're just here 2 to 3 breaths, if we can. All right, come down onto the hip, bring the leg down. I'm just going to stretch over. All right, next option. Still modified, but hand under the shoulder. Stretch that right leg out. Come on up, lift the hip up. So you see how I'm kind of back here? Good thing I have that camera to look at. Tell myself when I'm wrong. Also option to bring the leg up. Now bring the leg down, bring the hip down, bring the arm down. Maybe you want to come all the way down and stretch up and over. The other side felt better. What did I do different? I don't know. The other side somehow felt much better. My left shoulder's been bugging me though. Always something, right? All right, come on up. Now let's go into that forward bend one more time. If you want to open those legs a bit, you can do that. It might be a full straddle, might be a modified straddle, but again, we're going to get up tall. Inhale, forward bend. Exhale, reach in. You can reach between the feet. You can reach for the feet. You can reach for the ankles, whatever. Once again, lengthen, inhale. Exhale, forward bend. Couple more times. Get into that forward bend. Get comfortable here. Wow, time is flying. All right, let's slowly come out of that. Now we're just going to ease our legs together. If you had them out, we're going to shake them out a little bit. We're going to get right back onto our hands and knees. I want you to inhale to cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. One more time, inhale, cow pose. Exhale, downward dog. 3 breaths here. And then walk your feet forward. We're making our way to the top of our mat in a forward bend. Maybe you want to have your blocks ready. I'm just going to round over here. Let gravity pull you down. Now tighten the belly and make your way upright. Shoulders come up, roll them back, lift the chest, roll the shoulders a couple times. Arms out and up, inhale. Hands to your heart, exhale, and alongside. Okay? Roll those shoulders back. I want you to bring your chin forward. Do a little easy half circle here. Roll from one shoulder to the other. We want to be inhaling when we're going up, exhaling when we're going down. All right, go evenly. Both shoulders, go back to the middle. Inhale, eyes forward, arms up. We're going to go into our forward bend. Now you can roll down again or extend the back. We all meet in our forward bend. Inhale, come halfway up. Now you can use blocks to get here. Hands at the leg, straighten the back. Think of the heart as shining a little bit forward and up. Take a breath in, exhale, forward bend. Inhale, back up, and coming all the way back to mountain pose. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, get as tall as you can. Exhale, dive over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, back up. Exhale to mountain pose. All right, keeping it real simple today. Warrior 1, step back left. Bend that right knee, take the arms up. shoulders down. 3 breaths here. Inhale here. Exhale, open to warrior 2. Line up that front heel and back foot. Turn that body to the side of your mat, arms at shoulder height, looking over that right hand. Reverse warrior, take that right arm up. Inhale back to warrior 2. Side angle pose, lean into the leg or have a block ready. Take that left arm straight up or angle it up and over. Inhale back to warrior 2. Now, turn back to the front of your mat, but not warrior 1. Go into a high lunge. So turn, as you turn the whole body and bring that leg back out, lift that back heel and find your balance here. Prepare, inhale, exhale, twist right. Left hand goes forward, right hand goes back. Inhale back to the front. Slowly bring that back knee down. Use your blocks if you need to. Come to a kneeling lunge. Take the hands to the blocks. Bring your hips over the back leg. Lift that toe half split. Or just think of it as a hamstring stretch. We stretched out the legs earlier. Maybe that feels good. You can have hands on the floor. We do want to keep the body from rounding over, so lengthen the back and move forward. So it's going to be a little bit of work to get out of here, but I know that we can do it. So you're going to come back to that kneeling lunge. Hands come to the blocks or the floor. Bring that back leg up, come back to the high lunge. Hands to the hips, step or drag that back foot in. Find that mountain pose. Roll the shoulders up and back. Interlace the hands, pull the arms long, lift the chest. I'm going to flip over to the other side of the mat so we can do the whole left side. We still have our hands behind us, lifting that chest. Let's separate the arms. Inhale, exhale in mountain pose. Next inhale brings us up. Exhale, dive over, forward bend. Inhale, half lift. Inhale again, forward bend, exhale. Come back up. Come back to mountain pose. Step that right foot back, find your warrior 1. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, open to warrior 2. Make sure the whole body turns to the side of your mat, but then turn the head and look forward. Reverse warrior, left arm up. Back to warrior 2. Oh, do you guys know what I forgot? Maybe you don't. I'll throw it in at the end. Side angle pose, lean into that leg. Angle forward if you like. Back to warrior two. All right, inhale to high lunge. Turn here. I forgot to do the twist, I think, but we'll just throw it in here. Take a breath in. Exhale, twist to the left. Find that midpoint where you're not leaning one way or the other. Inhale back to the front. Now, drop the knee. Come to a kneeling lunge. Grab blocks if you need them. All right, coming to a hamstring stretch. So blocks on either side. We're going to lift that toe again. Some people call this a half split. Lift the chest up. Inhale, exhale, ease into that forward stretch. Try to not let the hips go back too much. I just caught myself. I want to try to keep my hips more over the back knee and then lengthen the body and move it forward. All right, again, a little bit of work to get back out of this. Come to your kneeling lunge first. Bring the hands to the floor or the blocks. Bring that back knee up. Come to your high lunge. Hands to the hips and step or drag that foot in. Find your mountain pose. Now, interlace your hands the opposite way. So you do one without thinking about it. You're going to take that thumb, opposite thumb over as you've got the hands behind. Chest up, shoulders back. 3 breaths here. And separate the hands. Let's circle the hands a couple times one way and then the other. So you're back at the top of your mat in mountain pose. All right. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Hands to the mat. Slowly walk back to that plank again. Inhale, come to your plank. Exhale, lower. Come all the way down. Now, have your strap handy if you have a hard time connecting. Same foot and hand behind you here. We're going to do a little half bind or a little bind here, one leg at a time. Let's start out by bringing the forearm under your forehead. Now, if you don't mind your forehead on the mat, that's okay. I don't like it. I find it uncomfortable. I like this little pillow here. I want to grab one foot with the same hand. So I'm not going opposite here. I am going same hand, same foot. Pull that foot towards you. If you angle out a little bit and you loop a strap around it, whatever you do to need to do to get there, once you've made contact, bring this leg parallel to the other one. All I'm going to do is pull my heel to my hip. Give it some time. Now, 2 things we're going to work on. First off, I want you to try to keep the foot in and inhale, lift the upper body like you do in Cobra. So inhale, lift the chest and forehead up. Keep pulling that heel in. Lower the forehead to the forearm. Now, see if you can press your right hip into the mat and lift your right thigh off the mat. If that's too much, bring it back down. If you can hold it there, try to also then bring the upper body out. This is half bow here. And then lower it back down. Bring the leg down. Bring the arm down. And just rest. All right, when you're ready, do the other side. So other arm under the forehead. Grab that foot. Lay down. Get that left leg or second leg closer to the first leg. Pull the heel in. Definitely have different ranges of motion, probably. Maybe not everyone. I do on both legs. Left leg's harder. Inhale, lift the chest up. Bring the forehead back down. Try to bring that left thigh off the mat. If that's okay, you can then bring the upper body. I kind of lose it at that point. So for me, it's better to work either upper body or lower body rather than both. And then bring the forehead down, extend that leg back down. Take the hand just kind of like right on either side of your head, above the shoulders. Bend the legs, rolling side to side. Imagine windshield wipers. Remember those things that we use when we have rain every once in a while? Okay, after you've done that a few times, give it some time. Bring the legs back down. Forehead to the mat, hands just a little further back. Push up to plank again. Come into your downward dog. And then bring the knees down and come into child's pose. Bring the arms in, let them have a little bit of a rest. We're going to finish up on our backs in just a moment. Okay, as you come out of your child's pose, you can just flip around onto your back. Okay, however you want to get there. Once you're on the back, we're going to bring those knees in again and roll the back. All right, bring both feet up. Flex and point them a few times. Circle the ankles. Make sure you go both ways. Stretch the legs, press the heels away from you. Bend the knees. Let's take the legs apart. Come into happy baby now. Keep the hands anywhere on the feet, ankles, toes, knees. Open it up. All right, bring the legs back together, bend the knees. I want you to bring, let's keep the right knee in, and we're going to let that left leg stretch all the way out. So just start out here, pulling that right knee to the chest. All right, let's do a little twist here with just the right leg. So we're going to open our right arm, inhale. So earlier we did the twist, not so much even a twist, but the leg extension going across with the leg fully extended. Now we can focus more on getting a twist here. So we're going to tighten up through the middle. So we're going to inhale first. On the exhale, pull the knee across. Keep the shoulder and arm down. But from within, that tightening the rag or tightening the towel, the wet towel idea, right? Squeeze from within as you pull that knee across. Now, as we come back up, we're going to go into that thread the needle we did earlier. So right foot on the left knee, maybe taking the left foot up. All right, uncross. Hug the knees in. Single leg twist on the other side. So left knee in, right leg stretching all the way down. Take a breath in. On the exhale, twist, pull the left knee across. Keep that foot tucked inside the knee. We don't want it to come down to the ground here. All right, rolling onto the back, left foot to the right knee. Stretch on the other side. All right, and crossing the legs. Now we're going to do a double leg or both leg twist. So keep the knees together. Now you can bring the feet down. It's a little bit gentler variation. We can take the feet parallel. We can take the feet together but off center from whichever side we're going, right? So think about it. This is our last twist here. Yep. So again, if you start here, that's fine, but we're just trying to use the weight of our body, both legs going to that side. So again, we're going to work the center, tightening up, but also get into a nice twist here. So first one, we're going to inhale. On the exhale, let the knees go. Again, whichever variation you're using, you can even cross over, lots of things we can do. And I do want you to try to keep that opposite shoulder down. Maybe turn your head if you can. Inhale, bring the knees up. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, come back up, knees to the chest, last time here. All right, I want you to go ahead and stretch your legs out long. Bring the arms overhead. Let's do that same sequence we did earlier. So inhale, stretch fingers to toes. On the exhale, letting it all relax. And we are keeping the arms overhead because we want to do this a couple times. Inhale, stretch and hold. And exhale, relax. Same thing. We're just going to keep the arms overhead. Maybe turn your head from one side to the other. Do that a couple times. All right, on this last time, we'll make it as long and deep as you can. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, relax. We're going to start to bring those arms lower than shoulder height. We're going to open those legs a little bit. Now, you've got lots of other options if you like using props here, maybe laying on your side, maybe elevating the legs, whatever you need. But this is that time, and we tend to want to kind of rush out of here. We're like, well, I'm done, right? This is so important to take even just a couple minutes to let your body and mind just sort of relax, right? Even in gentle yoga, we are doing a lot of things at once. We're breathing, we're trying to get our bodies to move the way we want to. We're always trying to stretch or improve a little bit, even when we think that we aren't, right? So I want you to give yourself this time right now really do nothing. Take a deep breath in. Try to exhale just as slowly through your nose. Continue that. Stay focused on the breathing. Check in with your body though. Make sure that you're still feeling, that you're not feeling tension. But if you are, you've got some time to kind of think about it, work with your body, work with your mind and your breath, and just kind of let it go. Don't think about what's happening later. Don't think about what already happened today. Think about right now. What can I do for my body? I can just breathe. All right, feel free to continue resting if you like. I also want to be aware of time in case anyone is in any type of a time crunch. Hate to think about that during yoga, but it's a possibility. So when you're ready to come back up, you want to move slowly. Start with a little movement, hands and feet, fingers and toes, maybe moving the head gently. Use very little effort to bring yourself back up. All right, bring your hands to your heart if you're with me. Namaste. I'm going to come over to the camera. You guys can unmute yourself. Sorry that we went a few minutes later than normal.